In this video, we're counting down my top 10 PlayStation 1 space games. From arcade shooters to large-scale space combat adventures, these are the titles that left the biggest impression and are still worth playing today. Let's see which game takes the top spot. V2000 takes place in a futuristic sci-fi setting where humanity is expanding deeper into space, but that expansion comes with conflict. Different factions are fighting for control over key systems, turning space into an active warzone. You step into the role of a pilot thrown into this ongoing conflict, completing missions that range from scouting runs to full-scale combat operations. There is no overly complex cinematic story here. Instead, the narrative is delivered through mission briefings and progression, slowly building the sense that you are part of a much larger interstellar war. Star Trek Invasion gave fans a chance to step into the cockpit during one of the franchise's most action-packed adventures. Rather than focusing on exploration or diplomacy, the game places players directly in the middle of intense space battles against the deadly Borg. Developed by Warthog Games, the title blends arcade-style combat with authentic Star Trek storytelling. Missions are filled with enemy fighters, large-scale engagements, and familiar locations from the television universe. Fans of the next generation will recognize the setting and tone, along with the effort made to stay true to the Star Trek timeline. Blast Radius arrived early in the PlayStation's life and showcased a futuristic world built around fast-paced aerial combat. Set on a distant planet divided by competing factions, players take control of advanced fighters and battle across a wide range of environments. Visually, Blast Radius impressed many players at the time thanks to its expansive 3D environments. While the graphics have naturally aged, the sense of freedom still stands out. There is a genuine feeling of participating in a larger conflict rather than simply flying from one target to the next. Nitrous Oxide is one of the most unique games on this list. Instead of traditional space combat, it combines shooter gameplay with a psychedelic visual style that feels unlike almost anything else on the PlayStation. Players guide a spacecraft through surreal environments while destroying waves of enemies and avoiding obstacles. The gameplay is straightforward, but the presentation is what truly makes the game memorable. Bright colors, abstract designs, and smooth movement create an experience that almost feels hypnotic. Starblade Alpha brought a legendary arcade experience into the living room. Originally developed by Namco, the game places players inside a powerful starfighter tasked with defending humanity from a massive alien threat. Unlike free-roaming flight games, Starblade Alpha follows a guided path similar to an interactive action movie. Players focus entirely on targeting enemies, dodging incoming attacks, and surviving increasingly intense encounters. Darklight Conflict is one of those games that quietly built a dedicated fan base over time. Players command advanced starfighters during a brutal conflict between powerful factions fighting for control of the galaxy. The visuals were also impressive for their time, featuring detailed spacecraft and large battlefields filled with enemy activity. Combined with a strong soundtrack and atmospheric presentation, the game creates a convincing science fiction universe that draws players into its conflict. The original Colony Wars was already a standout title, but Vengeance refined nearly everything that made its predecessor great. Set after the events of the first game, players find themselves caught in another devastating interstellar conflict filled with political intrigue and massive battles. One of the game's greatest strengths is its storytelling. Missions often branch depending on success or failure, making the war feel dynamic and unpredictable. Victory is never guaranteed, and every battle contributes to the larger narrative.
Shuttle at the Orlando depot to make the jump to Seoul. Just to make it interesting, I got a surprise for you, Colonel.
Few PlayStation games felt as ambitious as Wing Commander 4. Originally created by Origin Systems, the game combines intense space combat with an enormous live-action story featuring a cast of professional actors. Players once again follow Colonel Christopher Blair as political tensions threaten to ignite another devastating war. Between missions, players watch lengthy cinematic sequences that feel closer to a science fiction television series than a traditional video game.
Ooh, nice work, old-timer. Let's head to Orlando. We got a shuttle to catch. The old-timer losing his eyesight? Can't you see I'm a good guy? Do that again and you're history, Colonel. That's it. Maniac's taking you out.
R-Type Delta successfully revived one of gaming's most respected shooter franchises. Instead of abandoning its roots, the game modernized the classic formula while preserving everything fans loved about the series. The gameplay is precise, challenging, and incredibly rewarding. Every enemy placement feels deliberate, forcing players to learn patterns and carefully manage resources. The famous Force Pod system returns, adding strategic depth to every encounter. At number 1 is Einhänder, a game that transformed a simple side-scrolling shooter into something extraordinary. Developed by Squaresoft, the studio best known for role-playing games, Einhänder surprised players with its creativity, polish, and technical excellence. Set in a future war between Earth and the Moon, players pilot a highly advanced fighter capable of stealing enemy weapons and using them against opposing forces. This mechanic adds constant variety and encourages experimentation throughout the campaign. So that's my ranking of the top 10 PlayStation space games. Did your favorite make the list, or is there a hidden gem you think deserved a spot? Let everyone know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.